Hey there, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the part 6 of our Python programming tutorial series for beginners, and in this part we will talk about integers, floating point numbers and arithmetic operations. If you haven't seen my previous video, I showed you how you can use your terminal for fast prototyping and experimenting with small lines of code so that you don't have to save your Python file every time and run it on your terminal. So let me just give you a reminder in 1-2 lines. So you just write Python and then you enter a console or shell kind of thing, Python shell, and then you can do all kinds of stuff like maybe 2 plus 2 and some other stuff. And basically you don't need to write print over here. The thing that you compute or basically write any variable, they get automatically printed. Suppose I have a is equal to 2, you don't have to write print a, you just write a and it gets printed. So it makes prototyping fast. So we use it for small experimentation, but we write our major code only in .py. Okay, so now back to where we were. So basically we will talk about integers. So I already tell you that integers are something of these form -1, or maybe we have 0, 1, 0, 1, etc. Basically whole numbers with negative numbers as a part of them make integers. Then we talk about something known as floating point numbers. Floating point numbers are something that have decimal, so we can have 1.23. Then if we have 2 point, so this is also a valid floating point number. Basically this means 2.0. So 0 automatically gets understood or basically added to the value if you omit it, and those are floating point numbers. So now we talk about operations that we can use on them. So there are basic 7 operations you can use on them. So let's directly go and experiment with them. Suppose I have two numbers as x is equals to 10 and y is equals to 5. Currently these are integers, so we can do x plus y. So this is the plus operator. Then we can do something like x minus y. This is subtraction, or normal subtraction. We zoom it. Then we have multiplication, which is with the star sign. We get 55 into 10, 50. Then we have your division operation. So 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So now you see 2.0 got printed on the screen because the normal division that Python 3 has is float division. So if you want to do something like 11 by 5, then you will get 2.2. This is the answer that you expect. And now if we want to do integer division only, so basically if you want to represent 11 can be represented as, so this is a comment, 11 can be represented as 5 into 2 plus 1. So basically if we divide 11 by 5, quotient should be 2 and 1 should be the remainder. So now when we do an integer division is represented by 2 slashes. We do it by 5, we get 2. Here the answer will be an integer and not a floating point value. And if I want to find the remainder, I just use a modulo operator, and like this I get the remainder. So you can pretty much experiment with it and understand how things work here. So these are 6 operators that I discussed. Now there is one more operator, that is the exponentiation. So when we call like raise 4 to the power of 2, 4 to the power of 2 is 16. So for exponentiation we use double star like this, so we get 16 over here. Let me just clear it. If you don't have a shortcut and still want to clear your screen, you can just simply come out of it using Ctrl+Z and then starting a new, but then all your variables get lost. You can't do this. So we talked about all the 7 operators that we have. Now let's talk about expressions. So expressions are in Python are something that gets evaluated before they are used. So if I write something like 2 plus 4 plus 5 into 3, now this right hand side of this is equal sign is an expression, because first Python interpreter will evaluate this like 2 plus 4 star plus 15, and then it will assign it to x. So expressions are something which are evaluated first and then their value is used. So now let's talk about order of evaluation of an expression. So if you see this, let me say that I leave a space here. What should be the value of x here? Let us copy and check it for ourselves. It should be, so first 5 into 3 will be calculated, that is 15, and then we will add 6 to it. So we get something like 21. So let's print x. So we get 21. So here we come across the importance of operator precedence. So in case of operator precedence, what we have is exponentiation, that is your star star op is greater than your operators like mult, div, rem, basically your operators like star, float division, integer division, and your modulo operator, that is the remainder operation. And then this has more precedence than your add subtract, that is your plus and your minus operator. So in this expression, if you see, multiplication was performed first and then we did addition. So that's why this evaluated to 15 and then we added 6, and this does not happen like 4 plus 5 and then 3. That did not happen, but what happened was 5 into 3 and then we added. Now in case of same operator level, so multiplication, division, remainder are at same level. So in that case, order of precedence or order of expression evaluation is from left to right. Suppose we have something like x is equals to, let's say we have an integer divided by 5 multiply by print x, we get 20. So what's happening over here is, because these have at same level, so this gets evaluated first because we evaluate from left. So 11 integer divided by 5 will give you the quotient, that is 2, and 2 into 10 is 20. Now on the other hand, if we try to do something like 11 into 10, then integer divided by 5 and print x, we get 22. This is because 11 into 10 gets evaluated first, that is 110, and 110 divided by 5 is 22. That's why we got 22. That's why order of evaluation is important, and that's where it can make a difference actually to your output. And let's talk about brackets here. So brackets are something that can actually modify this order of evaluation. So brackets have kind of the most precedence. They are the most important and they are evaluated first no matter what. So you can say they have more precedence than anything else. So let me show you how brackets are there. So if you want to assign x is equals to 11 star 10 integer divided by 5, as we just saw, it will give result as 22. But now we want to do something else over here. Let's see. Let's say we want to do 11 into 11 integer divided by 5. So 11 into 11 is 121, and 121 integer divided by 5 should give 24. So that means, so we have 24 here. Now if we want to use brackets, so I jumped on the previous command using the up key, so you can use that too. Now we want to do something like this. We put brackets in that second part of the expression. Now since brackets have the most precedence, our brackets will get evaluated first. So 11 integer divided by 5 gives us 2, and then we multiply it by 11, so x should be 22. Now in case we have more brackets in our expression, then we know that inner brackets are solved first and then outer brackets are solved. That is the order of evaluation if we have more brackets. So that's pretty much for order of evaluation and precedence. And now let's discuss about some methods that we have for manipulating integers and floats. So round and absolute are two functions that we can use. So suppose we have x as 1.23 and we want to round off it, so we can simply use a round function which is inbuilt in Python, and you can use round x. So round basically converts it into an integer, and if we want to round it to certain places, like suppose we round it to first place after decimal, so we get 1.2. If we want to round it to 2 places, we get the same number because we have only 2 places here. Let's see what happens if we round it off till 3 places. So nothing happens because we don't have anything over here, so it just basically does not do anything if we round after 2. Okay. So after that, let's talk about absolute function. So suppose we have x as a minus number, negative number, then when we do abs of x, we get the positive counterpart of it. So there you see we have plus 5. So now that we are done here, I wanted to discuss one last thing, that is the augmented assignment operator. So suppose I want to do something like x is equals to x plus 5 and print x. So x was minus 5, that's why. So absolute x does not modify x in the first place, it just returns a new value that you can assign to any other variable or x also. So x still remains minus 5. And let me clear this. Let's do a fresh start. We have y is equals to basically 5 and we want to have an operation something like y is equals to y plus 5. So instead of writing all this, we can simply write y plus equals 5. This is same as typing y is equals to y plus 5, and if you see the result, we get 10 here. So this is an augmented assignment operation and this can be used with any of the operators. So suppose now we want to do y is equals to y into 5. So now this is same as y is equals to y into 5 and we have y as 10, so we should get 50 as the result, and there we have 50. So this can be used with all the operators that we talk, like if we want to do something like 2 and then we want to do y star star equals 3, then this means 2 raised to the power of 3, we should get 8 here, so we get 8. So this can be used with any operator and you just have to write the operator here and the normal is equal to it, and this will be treated as this. So this is augmented assignment. This is something like x aug is equals to some other arg, like maybe some constant or some variable, whatever you can have there. So this is the format of augmented assignment. Now, having discussed everything that I wanted to discuss in the video, let's jump to our exercise. So this is the exercise for you guys. This is a simple exercise. You just have to print the output of this small program, and once you do it, we will discuss the solution. So hit pause and try to think for a while about what all we have discussed and how can you just crack this small question. Okay, now that you have tried it, let's try this together. So x plus y, so x is 1 and y is minus 1, this should print 0. Absolute y gives a positive value always, so this should give a 1 because y is converted to positive 1. This won't print anything, this is just an assignment. So z is equals to x plus abs of y. So as a comment we can write z will become 2 here because it's 1 plus 1, so it will become 2. Now here when we print z, we get 2. So I am removing this for now because this is not a print, this won't print anything. Now z plus is equals x. This is an augmented assignment. That means z equals z plus x. X has the value of 1, so z will become 3 post this part, and we print the z in the next statement, so we get 3 over here. Now this is the remainder operation, or you can say modulo operation. We take the remainder of 3 when it is divided by x plus 1. X plus 1 is 2, so we get the remainder as 1. This is another expression evaluation and assignment. So z plus x is, so z is 3, x is 1, so z plus x is 4. Then z is 3, y is minus 1, so this is 2. And we have multiplication here and addition over here. So this will get evaluated first. So first brackets will get evaluated. This is 4, this is 2. Then we evaluate this multiplication. 4 into 2 is 8. Then we add 2 to it. So w is essentially 10. And when we print it, it should say 10. When we do a normal division with z, we should see something like 33333. Because it's a float division. When we do integer division, we should see only the quotient, that is 3. Now here both the operands have the same, are at the same level of order precedence. That means this will get evaluated first. So w is 10, we integer divided by 3, integer divided by 3 means the quotient, so we get 3, and 3 into 10, so we should get 30 here. And in this case what we have is we multiply first w and w together, so we have 100 here, and then we divide by 3 and take the quotient, so we get something as 33. So let's check. So we come out of this using Control Z or Control C, and we run the program Python. I have named it as tutorial6.py, and we see the output here. So that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 10, 3.33333333, 3, 30 and 33. So we get the correct results. Hope you were able to do it properly, and if not, just watch the video again and you will get all of them right, I assure you. So I will document it properly and post the tutorial file in the GitHub link mentioned in the description box below, so be sure to check it out for your reference. And till then, keep coding, make cool applications, and bye.